Good morning.
Morning.
Lesson 266. Here we go. My holy self abides in you, God's Son. My
He's
holy
speaking to me.
self.
He's speaking to me.
I am.
Mm.
My holy self abides in you, God's Son. And I'm speaking to each of you. Okay. Father, you gave me all your sons to be my saviors and my counselors in sight, the bearers of your holy voice to me. In them are you reflected, and in them does Christ look back upon me from myself, holy self. Let not your Son forget your holy name. Let not your Son forget his holy source. Let not your Son forget your name is his.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sis?
Can you read that last one again?
Yeah. The last sentence or the
The
last.
last sentence. Yeah.
Let not your Son forget your name is his.
I have a different sentence here.
Oh, blasphemy.
Thank God we can laugh. I would have been pissed even 5 years ago with it. Now we just laugh. That's such a good thing.
What do you
Okay.
have?
I have, let not your son forget his name is yours.
I like mine better.
I like yours much better. Okay, so this is from the FIP edited version. Yours is from the COA or the CE version. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I want to hear it one more time. Read it
All right.
again.
I'm going to read the last three sentences.
Okay.
Let not your Son forget your holy name.
Can we stop? Sorry. Let not your son forget your holy name. Can I just reword that from my own?
Yes.
To
Yes.
take it in, I want to take it in, not just intellectually, I want to take it into
Yes.
my heart. So
Okay.
would it be let me not forget your holy name?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be
Yes,
okay?
but also to include every brother when you say let me not or let.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us
Yeah.
not forget your holy name is ours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just for me, just to go in. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let us not forget our holy source.
Yes.
Let us not forget your name is ours.
Yes. That feels right. That went right into my heart. I've got that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. It bypasses the
Yeah, the
the
thinking
ego's
mind. Yes.
intellect, you know? I got
Right.
to feel it. If I don't feel it, then it's
Right.
useless to me.
This is amazing though, because this really points to again holy relationship. I mean, it's, God, you gave me all your sons to be my saviors and counselors in sight, the bearers of your holy voice to me. What does that mean? Like the ego is going to remind me of God? No. But when I want to stop looking at any brother through my self imposed filter that interrupts me and communication with my brother from seeing what's really there. It's that desire to transcend all judgments and opinions, forgive them. I'm not going to overlay anything. I want to join with my brother truly. I want to overlook the body, what physical sense is reporting, and join with the light that is my brother's true identity. And when I expect and desire to join with that,
Mm-hmm.
my will is done, right? That's the path. When I'm willing with God, nothing's going to prevent that. So somebody can seem to be acting insanely or saying something off the rails. And when you want to join truly with them and forgive what physical sense is showing you, and you join with the light in your brother, you can expect that what they say to you and how you perceive them is going to heal whose mind? Your mind, my mind. When I see the light in my brother, when I call forth the Christ in my brother, what the Christ says to me from him is God's voice. And it's for me. I see the loveliness in my brother. I hear the words from my brother's mouth, and it reminds me of what I am. My brother frees me when I first choose to free him.
Beautiful.
That's forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to choose that first in your mind.
Got to want it, desire it. Everything that we experience is the result of our desire. Your brother's the Christ. God created him. God told us how he created him. And if we're not seeing that creation, it's because we've imposed our defenses to not see the Christ in our brother, the light that's there. Because we know that when we see it, we're going to be reminded, that's me too. That's my identity. And if we're afraid of love, we're afraid of God, we're afraid of true union, we're going to not want to see that light in our brother. So again, our brother is our way back to the memory of God. Our brother is the means that God gave us to come back.
Yeah, we can afford to trust our brothers.
Yeah. Yes.
By wanting to see and communicate with only the Christ in them, the holy self, our shared holy self, which is the shared light of Christ vision. It's shared. Yeah. And I've had so many experiences whereby somebody who may not even be on this path, if I show up in true humility and vulnerability and ask the Christ in them to help me, they do.
Yeah. Yes. That's that prayer. Give me your blessing, Holy Son of God, that I might perceive you with the eyes of Christ and see my own sinlessness in you. See how that works?
Wow. So beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Calling that forth, because that's what you desire. And you no longer desire separation and differences. You want that felt state of true union. This day we enter into paradise, calling upon God's name and on our own, acknowledging our self, capital S, acknowledging our holy self, and each of us united in the holy love of God. How many saviors God has given us. How can we lose the way to him when he has filled the world with those who point to him and given us the sight to look on them?
That's a big statement, isn't it?
It's huge.
He has filled the world with those who point to him and given us the sight to look on them.
That's right.
Wow.
Because if we're not seeing the Christ, we're seeing our stuff, our blocks, what we made to block out the light. Every brother is pointing us right back to our own thought. If you're not beholding me as the holy self, if you're not feeling that pure, true joining, it's because there's something in your thought that springs up that just says, that wish for separation. Yeah. What is that thought? I want the miracle. I want to know what that thought and that belief is that's preventing me from joining so that I can forgive it and that veil can drop so I can behold the loveliness of Christ and be reminded of my own. Every encounter is holy. If we would stop using it on behalf of an ego and let Holy Spirit repurpose and be excited. I want to drop these. I want to scour it out.
The gifts of being triggered, right?
Yes. Yes, I know it doesn't feel like it with the accompanying emotions, but we've got it now. We know how this works. We do have the presence of mind to say, stop. This feeling state that you're feeling is what the ego's after. It wants you to feel contraction. It wants your mind in judgment and differences. It wants it this so that you aren't open to receive the memory of Christ and your holiness. And it doesn't matter what the storyline is. Notice when you're triggered. Notice that it's the mind that is to be the subject to look upon, right? To get curious about. What am I believing? Certainly it's not from God. It's not true. I'm giving it all the life that it has, but I can forgive it and I can call on my right mind to restore me to my wholeness, to sanity. Oh, right. God's will is done. God's love surrounds me. It's all there is to experience, and I want that. And it's the desire of our hearts that produces what we experience. Yeah. So we've got this, and we can practice it, and we do want it. We want ourself. Isn't that funny? We want ourself.
Our holy self.
Yeah. We want to be real. We want to know what we are. Yeah. So your holy self abides in every brother that you meet, and every brother is holy for that reason alone. It's a holy encounter, an opportunity to know yourself.
I wonder if I should share a little experience of that a couple of days ago.
Yes.
I don't know if I shared it with you, sis.
I haven't talked to you in a
Beautiful family, but it was a lovely holy instant between a contractor and another contractor, right? We had somebody come and dig some holes in our yard because we're planting trees, which is a good thing to do in the dream, right? And I had not really met him in person before, but Daniel had, and had formed a friendship with him. And at one point he came back from, he came back the next day, that's right, to receive payment for the job. And I saw him outside the window talking to Daniel, and the Holy Spirit prompted me to go outside and to thank him, for the work that he'd done. Just to let you know, we had a huge pile of dirt, a mountain in the front yard, and it had been there 30 years in this house. It was the original excavations made for the foundations of this house, right? And it was just a job that nobody wanted to do, was take away this ugly mountain of dirt, and it was huge. And he took that away. And the next day when he came and I ran out, I wanted genuinely to thank him for what he did. And I could feel the Holy Spirit enter me and join with my brother in that moment when I said to him, I need to thank you for what you've done. And in that instant, he teared up. He had tears running down his cheeks. And I teared up. Daniel teared up. And it was a holy instant. Just that few seconds was a holy instant happened. And nobody could hold it back. It was really, really wonderful. I was very aware of that. Yeah, so it can happen with anybody. We just need to be present. You know, just need to be present. I was gifted in that instant to see this guy as the Christ. And I would have given everything to him in that instant. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. It was because it was the Christ in me wanting to give the Christ in him everything. Yeah. Maybe not give, maybe share would be a better word. Yeah. But I was kind of surprised afterwards too, because I realized that, wow, I must be getting closer to God. Because in the old days, I wouldn't have done that, you know. Yeah.
It's almost like you can't help it.
You
You just,
can't.
yeah, you feel
Yeah.
the impulse, and you, because you're not fighting the impulse, you go with it, and you receive the blessing of that as much as the one that you've extended it to, right? Both the giver and the receiver are increased in God's love. And just the fact that there's nothing that fear or anything in the ego's thought system that can prevent that from happening. Like, this man maybe knew nothing about, he might be an atheist, a staunch atheist. We don't know. But I mean, there was everything in him opened up in the presence and the power of that, of the Christ. And he got it. We don't know anything about him, but he got it. He received it
He,
undeniably. Yeah.
and because he received it, you know, I received it as well. Like the
Right.
impact was great, and Daniel too. All
Yeah.
three of us
Right.
were crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh, my gosh.
beautiful.
Yes.
But why wouldn't you want to be there all the time? That's where I
Oh,
want to be. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's COVID, Delta, and Afghanistan, and God knows what else seems to be happening in the world. There's the ego trying to prove that we're separate and damned to hell. There is no God, blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
And yet this holy instant we had between the three of us, that was quantum. I mean, that went out, that ripple effect went out, and I am sure has helped to heal so much of the fear that causes the conflict in the world today,
Yes.
just from that simple,
Yes.
loving, holy instant that we exchange together.
And you can see why Jesus is standing here saying, "You guys, I'm not here embodied now, but you are, and I'm giving this to you." And it's a decision that you can make in every now moment. It's freely given, this experience, right? It's, are you present to receive the impulse to get up and go out and talk to that person, to extend? Are you available to the Christ, right? And if you are, when it comes through and you follow, listen, learn, and do,
Mm.
that the love that you already have is magnified, which was our sis's experience, and somebody else just received the holy instant. And in that, he says quantum, there's a quantum healing effect that ripples out. We have no idea. Holy Spirit takes that thank you and just uses it to the exponential degree that we'll never know of, right? Why wouldn't we do this? In fact, he's asking us to do it. He's asking us right here in these lessons, guys, I need you.
Mm.
Right here with the level of fear that seems to be going on, the only solution is this love that we're pointing to. It's the holy instant, right? True joining. Perfect love casts out fear. Nothing else does. Not more fear, not bigger and lesser fear, blue fear, red fear, perfect love casts out fear. Where's that perfect love going to come from? Well, it's certainly not human love, not the egoic special love. It's divine love here. Through who? You. Us. Right? Yeah. It's not an option. It's not an option.
No. And I think that as you've been speaking, sis, thank you, I've seen a practice that that I do every day, as often as possible, and that is to express gratitude, genuine gratitude.
Yeah.
And I won't express it until I begin to feel it,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not Nouk's gratitude. Yes, it is, but it's the Christ gratitude for the Christ or for God.
Right.
And it's just I guess it's a discipline
Mm-hmm.
that I've trained myself to come back to. Am I feeling gratitude in this moment for this brother or that brother or sister or whatever it might be? Yeah.
Right.
And then to express that gratitude wherever I can, genuinely express it. Let spirit speak to the other person, the spirit, the Christ in the other person,
Yeah.
and do that. But I have to confess that this was difficult to do in the early days because there was a fear of expressing transparency and vulnerability. Well, what say if I gush my gratitude to this person and
Yeah.
they stand there going, so
Yeah.
rejection,
Right.
fear of rejection, right?
Yeah. And that would only happen if it was Nouk, or a person trying to express gratitude in order to get something. But your gratitude that's the divine impulse. That's the I want to see the love of God that surrounds me. I'm going to be grateful for it in advance because I trust that the Father who's telling me that his love, he's omnipresent, it's here to experience. I'm grateful for that. And truly feel that gratitude. And it's interesting to note that a mind that's in gratitude can't be fearful. And that is a beautiful way to walk every day, so that what? You are present to the divine impulse. He's looking for the mind and heart that's available. When you're in gratitude, you're available. And he will work miracles through your hands. Yeah. Thanks, sis. Thank you for that beautiful, practical, perfect example.
Yeah. Find something with everybody, especially those who trigger the crap out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Find something that you have gratitude for in them.
Yes.
And go to them, eyeball them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And tell them,
Right.
I'm so grateful to you for whatever it is. Yeah. And watch the Holy Spirit or the Christ in them come through. We'll feel it.
And there's always something that you can find that you're grateful for, even the ones that you think really just, you relish not wanting to join with them. But there's a common ground there. You've got a desire to close the gap, and then you can find the commonality that you can be truly grateful for. If you want it, you'll find it.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, you guys.
So that was my holy self abides in you, God's son, you, my brother. Mm-hmm. In you. Yes. My holy self abides in you. In you.
And you. Yeah, thanks, everybody. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Love this one. Well, we'll see you guys next time. That was lesson 266. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.